It is official when you hear that song on a Thursday. It means that the good Rev is back in the Bew.
Yes, it is, and I am glad to be here. And how is it going?
It's been going good, Rev. It's been a very interesting week.
This week, I'm telling you, the only topic on the lips of everybody is just how we're suffering with this power.
Zesco.
You see, the thing I understand about Zesco is this. You know, Zesco said, and I know the only thing you can do is laugh about these things because it's so annoying.
Very annoying.
We just laugh about it. Zesco said, "Mvelani my guys." So they went to Yabet. "Mvelani my guys. Pameti pano ya kosa." So tipe mpa pari period chape. The person koni extra charge so ati tifikise kuli bazungu wali panja because kuli bazungu wali ready na light. So the person chape option. Mvelani stiza charge ma hospitals za charge atano, and then on top of that to charge woyambia 500 units going higher per month. The person can need a chance so at least it can get to my extra powers. Then I don't know the reasoning with ERP. They must have, they didn't say it, but I'm just imagining
in the meeting.
Probably you're not managing your things properly. You want to pass your inefficiencies to the country. We're not having any of it. No, but we need this because boss in the situation you're hipa. No, takan. Okay. So that Zesco is leaving. They're leaving the meeting.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we are feeling it.
No, we are.
Because now it's like 20 hours, 22 hours, no power.
So if you're gonna get power, a minimum of maybe an hour, 2 hours if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, 4.
Depending which area you are.
Yeah, like our neighbors, they're very lucky. They get 8 hours. I've seen.
Wow.
It's so annoying.
No.
Like I've seen. We see.
No, we also see on the other side. In fact, on the other side, so I don't know what's going on.
No,
on the other
at least but as it goes longer than them because imagine we are supposed to be on 12 to 24, but that's a joke.
No, that's not even working.
No. So apa 20 hours. 20 hours. 22:45.
Yeah, gone.
But then when you wake up in the night, maybe to use the bathroom, Vimambala across the road, they have they have it until 04:05.
Oh yeah,
that's when it goes. So they're having 8 hours. So for us, it's so annoying because 1, the inverter doesn't charge fully. Then 2, the freezer. Now the freezer, because you're really praying at least vikosemo freezer. Then then we can survive, you know.
No, people have to. It's because it's a costly exercise. Now you have to look for money to buy ice blocks.
Oh yeah.
That you have to stock in your freezer.
But do you know the secret?
Your food
Can I give you a hack? Give us a
secret. Let's hear it.
So all of you guys listening to me, most of you have my 2-liter bottles, Vama Zoe, Va Coca-Cola, Shanivit. You fill those with water
until they're frozen,
and then you put them in the freezer, like plenty, so they will start slowly freezing.
Okay.
That way, they retain the coolness because I've got about like 10 under my freezer there.
So it's keeping all your relish still fresh.
Of course, you know, if you buy deep frozen chickens from my mother and my brother, they help. But we've been safe because with all that, the chickens, the beef and whatever, plus those frozen bottles, because they are like deep frozen, like at the bottom of the freezer. So that all together keeps the freezer warm for whatever it's worth. And I'm informed, I don't know how true this is, but I'm informed the old freezers were more efficient at keeping stuff cool than the new ones. Is that true? When there's no power.
I want to agree, yes.
Because there's that story going around. And you know what? We have the old freezer. So yeah, our stuff does stay, like right now, yes, it's not deep frozen, but it's quite cold.
The old freezer could kick. I mean, the old freezer could kick like a good 2 weeks without power, depending if it was properly frozen. Yes. Yeah. No, the new ones are, come on. It's a week, 2 days, you're done. Everything melts.
Wow. So what do you think the problem is?
I don't know. I just think mass production as well.
So they're not really
necessarily
insulated.
Yeah, they're not.
Because do you realize that? Try and find out. Do you know at these old freezers, you won't even find them around. Like, even if you say chaola freezer, they'll buy that same old. If they just come and see it's the old one, they'll just say no problem, Zatigula 200, 300, they'll get it they go keep it in the market by the fish places.
There's a place Wakanyama that still has those old freezers. Go down there. In fact, there's a whole market with all these. I'm giving you trade secrets here.
No, but they're very important because it's rough, guy. It's rough.
You will find them there
right now.
Yeah,
no.
But sometimes
20 hours of no power.
You have to ask whether whether that fridge or freezer is legit or not. Just ask.
No, the most important thing is just the compressor. But he says the compressor. That's good because it's those old D5s, those old fridges. They're the ones that seem to be working well. These new ones, there's a whole story around. So I think this whole climate control. I was going to use a word which I might get into trouble. It's just a joke.
Yeah. No, I also don't buy that story. I've never bought the story of whatever. There's an insider who told me something. He said, part of the biggest problem is that the technocrats are never left to do their job. And half the time it's the politician who just sort of interferes in things.
Yeah, that's always been the story in Zambia.
I feel like for the last 20 years with the story of Zesco, that has been the problem.
Oh yeah, because remember, obviously we can't prove this, but the general rumor out there, so that's what we'll call it, rumor, is that Zesco and Zamteo have been the cash cows. Like that's where they just get the money to do whatever they need to do.
True.
So these organizations have never been given a chance to really grow, and then they can't be allowed to be independent because essentially, if you think about it, we should go back to our old model. You know what the old model was? Power generation is another company. Power transmission is another company.
Yes.
Power distribution is another company.
There should have been separate entities.
Do you remember we used to pay for electricity from the council?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. This is way back.
I remember.
Yeah, because the councils were the ones that would sell electricity, or sell it to the retail. They'll pay because you have Lusaka, Kitwe, whatever. So the transmission was run by another company, and then generation was on its own. So Kariba North Bank was a generating company.
That's all.
You just used to generate power. And then all these power stations, Livingston, whatever, they would be generating power, and then it's bought by the transmitters, the distributors. I don't know how it worked. But they merged it all because they said, no, we need one big monster of a company to run this whole gig. Well, I don't know, but it's not looking good.
And
that's what we can.
I saw a video. It rained somewhere. Is it in Bala?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm told it's going to be raining these next 4 days or so. Yeah, they say it's going to rain, but that rain won't do jack.
No, it can't fill up Kariba. No. Can't fill up
10 meters of water across 2,100 and
you need to have a flood of some sort.
No, they're saying actually 5 years.
5 years to fill up Kariba.
Continuous rain, yeah. Because it's 2,172 square kilometers on a 10-meter heading. So people, if you don't understand what 10-meter heading means, you see the height of the Zesco pole. That's 10 meters. That's 10 to 12 meters. That pole. So water that high across 2,172 square kilometers. That's bigger than Lusaka. Lusaka district. The circumference, what do you call it? The surface area of Lusaka district is smaller than the surface area of Kariba Dam. Kariba, the lake. It's that much. So we're talking about almost Lusaka. Like if you start bringing in Chilanga, what? Yeah. Yeah. Not Lusaka. Lusaka. No. It's bigger than that. So imagine 10 meters of water across the whole of Lusaka district. It's a lot of water, guy. So 1 year is not enough. The experts are saying 5 years of continuous rain.
We should have found an alternative.
No,
we should have found
these
an
things
alternative.
Were given a long time ago.
And we won't even get in there. We have experts who've come here and they've explained
and
what the problem is.
And that's the part which annoys me about this country, because when you start explaining, first of all, everything is turned political, even when it's not. And then secondly, everybody says, we've had the problem, give us solutions. I always feel like slapping those people because I say, you think there are no experts who gave solutions? They gave solutions 10 years ago. The solutions have been rotting.
I think the engineers in this country suffer.
And then now with
if
this
there's
latest
any country where engineers suffer, it's Zambia.
This one. And now this latest one, what do you say? Building,
the building is cracking.
I'm so depressed.
It's I don't know, man, because when you look at it, obviously, who are you going to hold responsible?
Do you know?
Who do you hold responsible?
Again, I have to give disclaimers when I start. This is a rumor.
That's a disclaimer.
Yeah, that's the disclaimer. So I am not speaking from a place of knowledge. I'm speaking from a place of rumors. So please don't quote me. So rumor has it,
yes,
that when there was a very big scandal around the whole NAPSA issue, both in terms of the NAPSA levy park opposite the police there, and the building itself. And now I think it's coming out because of what's going on, because already you heard the story, 10 million kani, $12 million versus kani zingati chakali 27 million versus. In other words, the discrepancy is too big between the valued amount and the sold amount. So the story has it that there was a whole lot of what's that word hanky panky going on. And this hanky panky was first queried by the late MCS. This is the rumor, no confirmation. It was first queried, files were dropped in front of His Excellency. He looked through, and it was some major stuff. And for some reason, he chose just to let it be. So this is coming from MMD into
PF.
Into the PF.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure when Society Park was finished, but I do know that there were both projects running at that same time, isn't it? In terms of levy and Society Park, plus the whole building and that whole process. So there's very interesting stories around the whole thing and how many people got kickbacks and stuff, and because of the kickback issue, the people that were supposed to do the work were forced to be substandard. Something that was picked up by the EIZ, as you know. In 2020, this thing came up. 2021 or whatever that was, when we know those reports were seen.
I remember that year, yes.
These things came up and they were highlighted, and then for some strange reason,
they swept under the carpet.
Yes, because obviously, when these things are swept under the carpet, it means there's very powerful people involved. So even now, let's wait and see. I mean, have you read the stories going on with Malanji? And
it's a very, very interesting story. That court case.
Here's the part. I want somebody to come and prove to me that there's justice if that man gets locked up. Because I do not think anybody in this country at that level ever gets locked up. No, I've never heard of it. There's only Richard Sakala who ever got locked up.
I always feel rich, influential people
never go to jail. The most they'll do is maybe forfeit property.
Yeah, most of the time they'll just get what they can get around you.
Yeah. So it will just be property will be given. That's how it will end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if they can squeeze you, they squeeze the people around you. So one of the people that seem to have gotten squeezed very badly is obviously people like Matthew Ngosa, because we heard his brother make a big thing about it at the funeral. So you ask yourself, why was Matthew Ngosa squeezed? You realize because he was a big name helping Bowman Nusambo. Where's Bowman Nusambo today? He's under a lot of pressure. So I don't know if it's the pressure that made him make certain statements, because it was shocking to hear that his lawyers have dropped him.
Yeah.
And when things start going that direction, just know stuff is going bad. And then I think there's stories about the big man having all his property surrendered, forfeited to the state. Yeah, I've been hearing that. So I think he got pissed off the other day and then made some serious statements.
Oh, well.
But the point is, I would like to see one of them go to jail, because I honestly don't think anybody's going to jail. Masaka News.
I think the only time, I know we'll wrap this up. The only time I remember was when the late Levi Monawasa was also, when he had his team investigating all those former ministers and whatever who he felt obviously stole from the state.
Yeah.
A few names went to jail, like some former bank, the former bank governor. Remember not the governor. It was the MD for that bank. Yeah, he went to jail. He went to jail for a bit, yes.
The only person I remember was Richard Sakala.
And even that name as well.
Yeah, Richard Sakala, him.
I think there was
because even this building just across here, that was his, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, they took it.
There were a couple as well, so I think
Gladys Nirongo.
That's the only time we ever heard of any influential
when you look
people
at the cost that they
from
spent,
government who actually were arrested.
Do you know that when they look at the cost that they spent versus the people that was recovered, and it was such a futile exercise.
Yeah.
The only time when you see the government really pissed off is with people like JJ. So JJ is not money; it's something else.
There's still a bounty on JJ.
It'll never go anywhere.
$2 million kwacha.
This is
a bounty.
I don't know who pays that, because Zambia police hold suppliers from here to Timbuktu. So where are they going?
I doubt if the money will come from the Central Police. I doubt.
No, it doesn't. It comes somewhere.
It has to come. Yeah, it has to come from somewhere else.
No, but anyway, bottom line is, I know the president and the current regime are very, very angry with this whole situation, but this is the system we have. This is the justice system. No matter how much you want it to move, if you're going to do things by the book, this is what you got to contend with. And to be honest, I feel, well, let's wait. This is 2020 what?
2024.
Yeah, let's wait. Let's see if by 2026 anybody will have gone to jail from these guys. They'll just get their properties.
And that's it.
Yeah. If they can't prove, I think properties will go. Definitely.
For features. That's all. Done.
But anyway, the thing, you know, the irony of life. What jail won't get them, health will.
That's how life is. Unfortunately.
My BP, my pressure.
Unfortunately. That is how God has created these things.
Yeah, because these guys are sick.
To be created in such a way that if you cannot go to jail,
BP will get you.
Your health will get you.
Yeah, for sure. Because the guys are sick, man.
Deceiving.
No, it's rough. Nobody's sleeping. And which goes to prove that just do things legit, do things straight, so that even when you leave, even if they come after you, you can say, no, there's my little house there. No pressure. You know, everything is straightforward. Because if whatever is going on for these guys, if this regime goes, Muzaka news. Tizaya mamaje kumvera tinabacha nabo natubiza ndrama ku Maldives zinaenda kwaso. We'll start hearing the stories again, because that's just how things are.
It's a cycle.
It's sad, bro. Anyway, today we have a very, very interesting guest. This guest is my brother. I have featured him before, but last time when he came, those of you watching, you see the title there, The Shadow Pandemic, Uncovering the Far-Reaching Impact of Addiction and Mental Health. My brother last came on this show with another great gentleman called Daniel Mbazima, somebody I hold in very high esteem. He's a young man, much younger than me. These guys are all younger people. But I love Daniel because Daniel's an amazing story, and he did feature and talked about his addiction. That was a heavy story, huh? And where they are now, running Sanity House and, you know, helping people. And I think now they have two. They have the ordinary and the VIP. The VIP is running, huh? Yeah, so they've got the VIP version. So this is if you're high class and you don't want to mix with the riffraff. You know, there are certain people who are very particular. Hey, what kind of place do you have there? But yeah, Chakul, what kind of place do you have?
Do people even get to ask such things? I mean, you just want to go there and get the help you need, right?
Yeah, but you know, it's like, no, still, I mean, we have some dignity, you know. I'm not going to be mixing with all kinds of characters. Can you get me people from my social strata, please? So they set up a VIP setup. Very, very nice. I don't know what happens there, whether they eat chickens through straws or something, but it's very, very, you know, real setup, you know, not for the riffraff. Although, to be honest, even the Sanity camp we're talking about isn't exactly riffraff either, because it's really, really good. I mean, you know, when my brother was there, we got to visit many times. I got the tour. It's a very nice setup. So obviously it's not cheap. It comes at a certain, you know, it's not cheap, if you know what I mean. But they did a VIP. So Daniel has been doing amazing things. And the next time he came, he had my brother with him. My brother gave his story. And today we're so privileged to have my brother on the show. Obviously, we'll just do a greeting and then we'll go into the news. And when you come back, and why is my brother on today and why we're going to be talking about his story today and what he's up to is because he's been on this journey now, you know, 2 years plus. You know, May was 2 years officially. And he's been running. And it's been a very interesting journey. You know, mental health, addiction, these are serious issues, especially around alcohol. But although addiction doesn't end with alcohol alone, in this country now, betting is bringing a whole new angle to it. But this is not a show about betting. This is a show about alcohol and substance abuse. And so, without further ado, for the first time on your own, Miselo, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
It's an absolute privilege to be here, and I look forward to the program.
Indeed. We have your traditional greeting there. That's our official invite, as you can hear in the background.
Thank you.
Indeed. So, Miselo, in a nutshell, just in about a minute or so before we go into the news. No, let's do it after the news. So right now, let me just throw this back to you, Nono, because I've looked at the time. However, I can watch a description. News is Africa.
All right, thank you.
Now, powerful lady standing nearby, ready to do her thing. So, back to you, Nono.
Thank you, Rev.
Music and talk radio on another level. Radio after 6.
Easy just got bigger. Easy just got bigger.
Ulani easy apaka ni DVD.
Easy just got bigger.
Usaleko na something imwe easily. 120 grams the bigger is better. Easy is always ahead. Easy got the most flavors. Easy is always ahead. You spoke and we heard.
Easy just got bigger.
Easy apaka.
Easy just got bigger. Easy just got bigger.
Easy apaka.
Easy just got bigger. Easy just got bigger.
Easy Noodles just got bigger. Now available in 120 grams.
The news headlines every second hour
are sponsored by Swan Insurance Zambia. For you, for them, for life. Swan, for life.
The Headlines Hotel and Catering Association is dismayed at the sudden disclosure of Garden Hilton Hotel and other businesses at Society Business Park. Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Mike Mposha, says the government is ready to work with the German government in its agenda to participate in carbon market trading. Minister of Mines and Minerals, Paul Kabuswe, says government will not tolerate illegal mining. Japan has issued its highest level alert to move more than 5 million people after the country was hit by one of its strongest typhoons in decades. And in sports news, Napoli have signed Belgium striker Romelu Lukaku from Chelsea in a £30 million deal.
Zambia's award-winning and most trusted news and entertainment provider. Consistently delivering unrivaled world-class radio 24/7, 365. We are Hot FM.
The Driver's Challenge. Fueled by Oryx. Covered by professional insurers.
Get ready for the Icon Zambia, a groundbreaking singing competition coming soon to all streaming platforms. Each week, you will be challenged not only by our judges, but by millions of people watching and voting at home. The winner will receive 100,000 kwacha cash.
200,000 kwacha worth of airspace on Hot FM.
A new car.
A new home.
1 year of medical insurance. ShopRite grocery vouchers for a year.
And the biggest prize of all, a recording contract valued at 1 million kwacha.
In short, we are looking for an icon.
The icon.
The Icon Zambia. Powered by ShopRite.
Money, 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 money when you need it.
Yeah, but I'm out of cash.
No worries. Express Credit will give you cash in just 15 minutes. Up to 10,000 kwacha in just 15 minutes at any of our Express Credit branches nationwide. Bring your ID, payslip, and bank statement for super quick processing. By the way, Express Credit has a special offer for government employees as well, offering up to 100,000 kwacha for your financial needs. Visit Express Credit branches or call 3334 for more information.
Money, 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 money when you need it.
Auto Talk Garage. For all your vehicle needs and checkups, you are welcome to come and visit us. Auto Talk is an insurance-approved garage that offers auto mechanics, auto electrical, panel beating, and more. We service the following brands: Audi, BMW, Ford, Jaguar, Jeep, Land Rover, Mazda, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, and VW. For more details, contact us on 0772 960 129 or 0977 717 064. We are located off Lilai Road opposite New Petroda Filling Station, Greystone, Chalala. Stand 10622. Auto Talk, the car specialist.
The great value for your money store, Choppies, has amazing saving deals for you until the 8th of September 2024. Get 1.5 kgs of Supreme IQF chicken for 109 kwacha 99. 5 kgs of Choppies Nakonde rice for 159 kwacha 99. 2 liters of Excella cooking oil for 112 kwacha 99. Get 500 grams Kellogg's Corn Flakes plus 1 liter Parmalat full cream milk for 79 kwacha 99. 500 mils full cream Parmalat morning fresh milk for 9 kwacha 99. Enjoy 100% assorted 1 liter Choppies juice for 39 kwacha 99. Sort your laundry with 4.5 kgs Boom Wash Powder for 189 kwacha 99. Braai with family and friends with Zambezi Vors for 89 kwacha 99 per kg. Eat healthy with a tray of Naji trays for 42 kwacha 99. Look for more savings and stretch your budget. Choppies, great value for your money.
Attention all arts lovers, get ready for the ultimate celebration of arts. Join us at the National Arts Festival 2024 at the Piazza East Park Mall, featuring J-Max, J-Rocks, Dismo, Judio, Chile One, 76 Drums, Zeven, and many more. Explore a world of creativity with our exciting lineup of activities, including masterclasses, kids corner, dance, music, literal art, visual arts, fashion, film, community theater, stage theater, choral music, and comedy. Mark your calendar from the 28th to the 31st of August 2024 and get your tickets now at ShopRite stores or through Compute Tickets. Get your daily pass at 30 kwacha or a 4-day pass at 100 kwacha. Embrace creativity, Zambia at 60, the Zambia Arts Festival 2024. Powered by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts with the support from NAPSA and other partners. See you there for unforgettable experience of fun with friends and family.
Chumama boy, panike so beba tama iligo rishinae. So are you guys ready to win big with Bet Lion, Mabwana Mega Mission? Chila mwishi, one lucky winner, kwenda pona kasaka cash power, 500 spin cash, so kuchita so. Bet on sports, slots, na aviator at Bet Lion to collect points. The more points you earn, the closer you get to winning 500 spin on Mabwana Mega Mission. It's that simple. And remember, Mabwana Mega Mission is on Chilamwenshi. Endesha kaven ku Bet Lion lelo and join the Mabwana Mega Mission. Bet Lion inganda jackpot. Visit betlion.co.zm.
Dam Steel Limited is home to Zambia's best steel products such as door frames, window frames, palisades, tank stands, sliding gates, burglar bars, steel roofing, and iron grills. We fabricate a wide range of designs to suit your needs and quality at prices you can't believe. We also have professionals to handle your house wiring, bricklaying, electric fencing, razor wire, and alarm systems, and so much more. Link by services now available on all our products with free delivery and installation. Get a free quotation now on our WhatsApp +260 9782 17560 or visit our offices in Chilenje along Muramba Road at plot number 82 Lusaka. Dam Steel Limited, constant innovation always.
1xBet presents an exciting world of entertainment in the 1x Games. You will find Crash, Dice, Apple of Fortune, Money Wheel, and other top games with many chances to win big wins. Go to 1xbet.com.zm today. Use the promo code Zambia Games and get up to 41,000 kwachas plus 150 free spins. Fun to play, fast to win. It's your best chance to grab your luck with 1xBet.
Wait, can we get bumper stickers? We can get them from Hot FM, our station. We can get them from Oryx Station. We can get them from Professional Insurance.
Are you bumper sticking, bumper sticking, bumper sticking?
Rev Walter on Prosperity Insights. Now on Hot FM.
Alrighty, we're back, and like I told you, hey, first of all, big shout to Rita. She's watching us from Nairobi. So let me go into the lingo. Nafurahi sana kukuona umekuja kwenye platform yetu, unafuata yale tunayoongelea, na salamu kubwa kutoka kwetu kufika kwenu huko Nairobi. Right, back to my language now. So, straight away, Tolo. That's what we fondly call my brother in our circles. Let's begin just very, very simply. Who's Miselo Chitah? Let's start from there.
Okay.
So that people get to know what we're talking about and why you're talking about this subject. Like, what qualifies you? I get asked that question. What qualifies you to judge?
Story of my life. Okay, Miselo Chitah, other than being Revolta's brother, that tag will stay with me for the rest of my life. I'm a 40-year-old, I'd like to think that's still young man, who has been, well, I'll give from the perspective of what we're talking about today, who is a recovering addict and who has been dealing with alcohol addiction for the last over 20 years. Wow. I would say it's about 24 years from around the time I was 16. But of course, it never appeared to be a problem to me in the beginning. Because, it starts being in Zambia,
it's chills.
We love chills.
Where is it cutting?
Exactly. And, the problem with alcohol addiction is alcohol is an accepted form of recreation.
That's right.
So it's usually not looked at as a problem until it is a problem, if you know what I mean.
The listeners don't know.
Oh, okay. It's usually not looked at as a problem until it gets to the point where it's now causing problems in someone's life, which meaning that you can't control it. Okay. And here is where you make the distinction between alcohol abuse and alcohol addiction. Alcohol abuse is just taking alcohol more than you should.
Okay.
And it's no longer just recreational. You're taking it even at times when you're not supposed to be taking it and things like that. And then now when it becomes an addiction is where now it's beyond your control. So now instead of you being in control of the alcohol becomes what's in control of you. And that's basically the definition of any kind of addiction. If it's something that's out of your control, you're not doing it just because you enjoy it, you're doing it because you feel that you have to feed something within you, then it becomes a problem. Now, I'm just going to delve right into it.
No, delve into it so that people can understand, because what, like, as you rightly put it, it's like what I'm seeing with betting.
Yes.
We're having a really big debate online because there's well-known influencers out there that are sharing codes and getting people to go on it, and then there's all sorts of people justifying. But I get inboxes of people struggling like they are in a very bad place, lost marriage, lost everything, and then super indebted. So if many people are ending up there, and then these people are saying, well, life is a gamble, and that's the really annoying statement. That's the big thing now. Life is a gamble. So I'm seeing so many parallels with alcohol, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing with any form of addiction. It's when you no longer can control it, and like I said, it's something that you have to feed, then you know that it's becoming an issue. So whether it's alcohol, sex, betting, food, whatever it is, as long as you can't control it, because we are supposed to be in control of whatever we do in our lives, especially if it's something recreational, right? Like drinking, or some people find betting recreational. And
actually a lot of them do it. That's
exactly.
why we have all the casino houses and
I personally have no issue with people who can control it, but as soon as you can't control whatever is happening in your life, then it becomes an addiction.
So now that's where the issue is, Miselo. How do you know when you are no longer in control? Because the line is so thin, isn't it?
It is a very thin line, and that's why we usually don't notice until it's too late. And that's why it's very interconnected with mental health, which is another aspect of our discussion today. Because now usually I have found with the people I work with, I have found that everybody who has an addiction has certain issues that they have in their lives. So you have to go back and see where those issues stem from.
Yeah,
now
the root.
Yes, the root
Was
of the
the as
issue.
Munemusha would say, the root cause.
Exactly. So it's very difficult because it's you usually find yourself looking at it in retrospect.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, especially in places like Zambia, we're improving now, but mental health is not something that has really been looked at as an issue. So we would even have campaigns of live healthy and everything, but we're talking about the physical. Now, a human being is made of the three parts. There's the mind, the body, and the spirit. And so we're taking care of the mind. I would like to think we're taking care of the spirit, but the mental, we are just like, we're not looking at it at all. And it's
and there's a lot of stigma to it now.
Extreme stigma. It's like unbelievable. And even when I'm having conversations with my own family, with our own family, we're having conversations, and when you start talking about mental health, you see people like start retreating.
Yes.
They don't want to talk about it, and they think it's such an issue. I mean, just today, I don't mean to put anyone on blast, but when I was talking about coming on this program today, and I had mentioned,
I haven't checked the WhatsApp. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I had mentioned that I'm a recovering alcoholic. Someone in one of our family groups was like, but why are you saying you're a recovering alcoholic? I don't think that's necessary to put out there and everything. Wow. Can't you just talk about addiction in the way it is? Of course, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, I get the point.
Yeah. But then I'm like thinking, and I'm trying to make it clear to people, like, okay, it's not something I'm ashamed of. It's a condition I have because it's a mental disease.
Yeah.
Of course, it gets out of control. It's a mental disease that you can learn to control, but it's a mental disease. And I mean, would I be ashamed to say I have cancer? Or would I be ashamed to say I have diabetes or whatever it is? So that's a disease of the body, but addiction is a disease of the mind. And so you cannot separate mental health and addiction.
I like that.
So it's very intertwined. And unfortunately, now we start hitting it from different angles. Now, please do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that addiction is not something you can attack spiritually, but you are not dealing with the mental aspect of it.
And I like that. Just there, sorry to come in, but I love what you've just said, because Mbazima, and I mean even yourself, let's not go far, but Mbazima, when Daniel was on the show, he actually spoke about it. He said that, because his father is a pastor, so in the beginning, that's the general feeling everybody has. Like, this is a demon, this is demonic. So he would be taken for deliverance and all that stuff. And then, you are tied in a room and they take you through this whole thing for 1 week. But the moment you come out of that, what happens?
Exactly, you just go right back.
Because they never dealt with the mental.
They're busy trying to curse this demon.
Yeah,
and move it from you, out demon. And you've got, no offense to the pastors, but they're pushing you. And if you don't fall back, then you're resisting. And that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
And some of us who are related to reverends and pastors, we know how it is. And but the thing is, it's like the same way we talk about, like, I mean, in the churches where someone is, for example, HIV positive. And then instead of someone going to the hospital and taking their medication and things, you've got even these pastors who are saying, no, just pray. Throw away your ARVs because that's a sign of lack of faith and everything.
Many have died, huh?
And many have died. And it's so unfortunate. Like, tackle this thing where it needs to be tackled. So the same way you're going to tackle a physical disease is the same way you should tackle a mental disease. Deal with the root cause. And so now in the time that I have been working with people who have been dealing with addiction, I've found that so many of them, the thing is, it takes therapy, it takes a lot of talking and opening up and things like that.
So let's go a bit deep into that. I want you to just delve deeper in what are those issues. What are the things that drive?
Well, for everybody, it's different. The amazing thing about human beings and the way we are created is we are all created differently.
True.
Which is why you can have two children growing up in the same home, same circumstances,
Same issues,
everything, same issues, and one is going to excel in life and the other one is going to have an addiction. They're two totally different people, and they should be judged on their own premise. Don't judge them by
saying, but this one.
So how come this one didn't come up like that? And you know, it is so amazing. I'm so glad that I feel like the work I'm doing is not in vain, because the other time I actually heard my mother say this. And you know, my mother, God bless her soul, I love her to death. She was one of those in the beginning who said like, okay, but you claim to have these issues. You're not the only one who grew up in that house. How come you are the one who ended up with these issues and things like that? And I'd like to believe that because of now understanding, you know, my mother is one of those people. Well, our mother is one of those people who, once she decides to learn about something, she goes deep into it.
Very deep.
And so she understood that it's not about because you grew up in this home and everything. It's you and your issues.
It's your psyche, it's your makeup, it's your mental. You know, every one of us is just a different personality.
Exactly. So
and
the
we handle
same
things
way
differently.
You can have people born from the same parents and one is allergic to something and the other one is not. It's the same way the mental health issues come up. So everyone on their own thing. So it's when I say it's a deeper issue, it's deep on a personal level for each person. And so that's why now you have to go into a person's background. Sometimes it's a specific incident, but sometimes it's just accumulation of things that the person couldn't handle. And some of us just have addictive personalities. And that's why you would find that one person
so they are borderline,
yes. So they would get over one addiction and find themselves going into another one. So for example, you stop alcohol and you're dealing with your alcohol addiction, and then now you go into the betting and you're going into it really hard. And you're like, but if you could get over that one, why can't you get over this one? And it's not that simple. So it's an ongoing process, which is why even when we talk about recovery is not a destination. It's a complete journey.
I love that. So recovery is not an event.
No, it's not an event. You can't say, I recovered on this day.
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing.
Walk us through what it is for yourself that made you reach that point of, in the words of Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, clarity.
Okay, so my point of clarity, I have a very interesting family. Everyone who knows me would know that. So I don't even know if I can call it blended or multifaceted.
Both.
So anyway.
Both apply.
Yes.
Literally.
So I had a very okay, let's go back. So when I started drinking at like 15, 16, it was just for chills, and then went to Australia for school, and you know, it started getting progressively worse. And you know, it was that thing where every time, like, you're all chilling together, but then for you it's just that step further. So you drink until you pass out, you drink until you've got no recollection of what happened the previous day, but it's still not a problem, because a lot of alcohol abusers, in fact, still do that.
Is it, huh?
Yes, they still do that. So you still drink until you pass out and whatever.
Wow.
And it's still so it's now on the border of abuse and addiction. But then for me now, it's that one where even if I didn't want to drink, I would still need to drink. And you know, it's so, again, coming from a family where my grandfather was a bishop, my mother is a lay leader in the church, my brother is Reverend Walter Mwambazi, you know, so you're looking at it from the spiritual angle.
It's like this thing of trying to live up. It's like, but look at your...
Exactly. So people can't even understand. Like,
there's been that drawing, eh? There's kwacha, and then there's salary, and it's like, why aren't you catching up
to your friends?
Yes, to make a small little person down here. Yeah.
So, but then now it got to the point in my life now where I started avoiding people who seemed to be making any form of progress in their lives. So the people who I had started drinking with, my childhood friends and things like that, you know, they had moved, not that they had stopped drinking or whatever, you know, they had
quote unquote progress.
Exactly. So they could control when they're drinking. they could. But for me,
So
once I start,
they were functional.
Yeah. No, I won't call them alcoholics. They'll kill me. They're listening.
True. They're all live. Sorry, guys.
He didn't mean it. Anyway.
I didn't mean it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but they could control when and how they drank. But for me, it's like once I start, I don't stop until I pass out or I don't have access to the alcohol anymore.
Yeah, so Vasila Chabe.
Yeah, so Vasila Chabe. But then as soon as I can find it, I would go back at it. And so now, number one, what happens is the type of alcohol now you drink changes.
You said downgrade.
Because, of course, you can't afford to
keep drinking the high end.
my Jameson every day or whatever.
Correct.
So you now start going to the cheaper stuff, but then you still want to get that high. So you need something that's cheap, but then it kicks you. So then now you go down to the Jiri and the Juntas and things like that. And
And those are designed to really hit the spot.
Exactly. They really do, man. They won't even lie.
Just put it in Coke and you're sorted.
You're sorted.
So you're always wondering, that guy's always drinking Coke. All right. Double check that Coke.
Yeah.
Or orange juice. The ultimate disguise.
It's terrible. So you start downgrading what you're drinking.
Wow.
Then you start downgrading the company you keep. So you find I live in Avondale, then I find myself I'm always in Chainda, and
not disrespect to
no disrespect to
but
Chainda,
we're just talking about the stratas.
That's our hood.
Correct. It's just the social stratas of life.
Exactly.
I mean, you cross from town to Chibolia.
If
you get the analogy.
So
yeah,
so it would be crazy. And so I'm downgrading the people I'm hanging around, what I'm drinking. There's pictures I've posted on my socials of my befores and afters, and it's just like I just became a shadow of myself and who I was. But I still did not think that it was a problem. And denial is like the worst thing ever.
For real?
Because I was in major denial for the longest time, even with people talking and saying, look at this. And I could see that, there were mess ups in my life. But, am I the only one who drinks?
You know what I mean? No?
And what's wrong with having fun? And, I told myself that I could control this. If I wanted to stop, I would stop. But I was enjoying it.
Isn't that one of the lines that keeps everybody in that space, isn't it? Because they say, I can stop when I want.
Exactly. I just
and
don't
you even
want
give
to.
yourself a experiment, like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've done 2 weeks. Like, wasn't I just home? We chilled the other day. I was with mom. We did the whole family thing, and I was fine. So I can stop when I want to.
Yeah.
But then now, so things went on and on. Now I was extremely close with my stepmother. I called her my bonus mother, and so she was ill for quite some time. And even though I did see her at the time she was ill, I was not there for her as I should have been during her illness. And so when she passed, that's when it really hit me. I don't know, it was my, like you said, moment of clarity. My aha moment, and which is amazing because my dad died, leaving me as an addict, and it didn't have the same effect. But then when my bonus mom died, then it just hit me. I was like, it hit home. It really did hit home.
Yeah.
So she passed on in March, but then the period between March and May was just like there was so much. There was soul searching and things like that. And soul searching, mine went low before it went high.
Okay.
So during that soul searching, that's when now I even my mental issues were on serious, at a serious all-time high, and I became suicidal. And it was terrible for my mom now because I'm living with her. And that day I had even written the note. I had planned when I was going to do it and things like that. And I had said that I was going to do one last chill.
And then from there you just come in.
And
with who now?
With Mole.
Wow.
Which is amazing. And so now mom had found that note, and
she found the note?
Yes, and she was freaking out. Like, okay, now you have to be with this guy 24/7 because
he's now. So did she say that to Mole?
Yeah, she said that to Mole.
Oh.
So, Mole is my brother for the rest of the people who have no idea who I'm talking about.
That's the problem of interviewing your brother.
You assume everybody knows who everybody is.
I really just want you to talk. That's why I am.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk very little. I ain't Mr. No.
Yeah.
For him, this is talking talking very little. But anyway, yeah. So it was, but then now, you know, where you plan to do it and then you just have this moment and you're like, what is this? I can't do this anymore. And I actually reached out to you guys.
So you had another moment, eh?
Yes.
We thank God for that.
So I actually reached out to you guys,
you did.
And my family is just, I can't say enough about them. They're the most supportive people in the world, because I said I need help. I need to get into rehab, and you know, instantly. I mean, we had known Daniel from before, and we had attempted.
Yes, we had attempted because of Junior.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had attempted that, but that didn't work out. But at this point, I had made the decision.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
And I think for me, that's very important. You need to
Yes.
emphasize that to people that are listening who have relatives that they are very concerned about.
Exactly.
Maybe just emphasize that.
You know, support system is very important, but then it has to get to the point where the actual person with the problem makes that decision and says, you know what?
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
So it's not one of those where you lecture them, and they say, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because one guy's a pressure.
I know, right? There's even like a meme of a picture of Einstein with his hands between his legs at me every time I'm being lectured about alcohol, and he's looking very, very remorseful and whatever. But you know, that doesn't work. And I'm not saying that you should stop lecturing and whatever. And I'm not saying that you should stop praying. You know, I've said this many times. I've said this countless times. There's no such thing as a wasted prayer. So keep praying for whoever it is that you're praying for who's going through those issues. But pray for them to get to the point where they realize that they need to make that decision.
The moment of awakening.
Exactly. That the person needs help.
Wow.
And you know, so many times when I go to see people would ask me to come and talk to their people and say, you know, come and talk to this person so that you can convince them to go to rehab. I was like, no, it's not about convincing them to go to rehab. It's about helping them reach that realization that they do need help. And people in addiction do need help. And you know, the thing is, that's why I keep saying that mental health is not something that you can disassociate from addiction. Because the same way you would need to convince someone to go to the hospital and do an HIV test and get on the meds, is the same way. Because like even people who are on HIV medication, you know, there are lots of people who are still in denial about it. So you can even get them to the point where they get to the hospital and they give them the medication and they just don't.
And they just don't take the
So you find people
I've lost
have
extremely
died.
close people in my family.
Exactly.
For that reason.
You find people have died and you've got all this, the medication is under the bed.
Under the bed, yeah. They were
And
literally
you're
just putting it under the pillow.
But what was the point? And so they hadn't decided that they needed that help.
So they just doing show. It's a cosmetic
and
thing.
that's the worst thing ever, because now you've got the people relaxed thinking, okay, now this person is singing, and then now the disappointment
isn't
where
that
they
the
realize.
story? Isn't that the story with people that are taken to rehab? They've not made a decision. Huh?
And that's why I always say that these people who are brought at you, okay, no, we've brought him now, we'll bring his clothes later. I can guarantee you that that's not going to work. Maybe they'll have that realization once they're in there, but it's very rare. If
What's the
decision
percentage like?
It's like 0.05%.
Goodness,
that's just a
serious,
percentage in my head. It's not
No,
like an official
but I
statistic,
agree with
but
you because come on, we have examples, so we don't have to go far.
Tons and tons.
Yeah.
And you know, even Daniel would attest to that. You know, the first question, like for example, at Sanity, and that's the only place I can talk about because that's where I was.
Correct.
Is they would ask you like, "Are you ready?"
Good question.
And Daniel would even tell me, he's like,
I'm even thinking of like a song. Are you ready? Can you dig it? Go on.
Yeah, you know, so even Daniel, now the thing is, you're asking this question and this guy is in here with his mom and his dad and
Yeah,
everything.
so
obviously he can't say no, and then they've already paid. So obviously you can't say no, I'm not ready. Like, anyway, you made us. Like, no, I did not make you do this. You're the one who brought me here.
It's rough.
Yeah, but so the
like
person,
that little kid with the parents at the head bus, the principal's office. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The parents are next. I just saw you.
I just say sorry. Like, no, no, I'm not sorry. But anyway. Yeah, so like you can even look at them and say, and you know, we used to laugh with Daniel. It's anything like, I give him. He might even do the 3 months or the 6 months or whatever. But I choke, 2 weeks. First place as And you know, we had cases of people who would actually. And beautiful thing about Sanity House is they won't force you to stay there if you don't want to be there.
For real?
So if you say that in an info no enda manje, they'll release you.
Serious?
Yes. We had this one guy. Of course, I'm not going to say his name.
No,
but it was hilarious because he actually said that, in fact, when I came in, there was some money in my thing, and immediately he walked out of Sanity House and went and bought a junta, and we could even see him like,
Shame.
Yeah. So. Wow. It's a whole wide spectrum of things that need to be dealt with. And in Sanity House, we had therapists who would come and talk to us and, really delve into these issues.
Deep. So I know you have to come back. As in, you come back to the show because I'm looking at my time.
Yeah.
But I want maybe just for the next 5 minutes, let's delve into that space after realization. What does that journey look like?
Now that's
and what makes anyway, go on. Let me know. You know better than I do.
And now that's the thing. It's not like once you come to this realization, then it's going to be birds chirping and life is going to be beautiful all over again.
Unicorns on rainbows.
Exactly. Yeah. That is just the beginning of a very long and difficult journey.
I hear you.
But
describe the difficulty for the listeners.
Well, it's because now you're dealing with something that especially
that you masked. So you were masking it with a drink, isn't it?
Exactly.
Now
so
there's no
for
drink
us who had this issue for such a long time. And now you have to face it head on without the alcohol to cover it up, to mask it, as you said.
Because the alcohol is for coping, not so.
Yes, it's a coping mechanism. Any addiction, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism for something deeper.
Yes. So now you need to, and you're peeling off the layers and getting to the core of it, and that is not easy. There's a lot of honesty that's required. You need to be honest with yourself. And I always say that people who are trying to get over an addiction for another person, whilst it's a very noble thing to do, I think it's not going to work.
On that thing you're talking about honesty, I bring in something that I always bring in, and people don't like it, but I bring it anyway. And it's to do with, like, for example, myself, as a trainer, coach, neuro, whatever. One of the things that I had to come to terms with when I went through my so-called failure, the 3 pillars I keep talking about, of which the biggest was divorce. I learned that the only way I was going to move ahead is to come to terms with it and to take especially the taking responsibility, because
I'm telling you,
that part, you're like, I'm not the one who, I don't like to speak ill about, so I'll just say, I'm not the one who did that. I'm not the one who did that. I'm not the one who in fact, they had that problem and that problem. Why should I take responsibility? You get it?
And my other brother Nkandu is always talking about, like, in every bad situation you find yourself in, you need to say, what role did I play in
That's
this?
right.
And lots of us, and that's something we're not willing
No,
to
we're not willing to. And
responsibility.
that's why I feel that most people never recover. Because for me, first I took responsibility, and then secondly, I must be willing to face it head on and speak about it. Because I notice some people will keep hiding that past, so they don't want to talk about. When it comes up, they freak out, they get into an episode.
Exactly.
For me, I think until the day we can come out in the open and say, face the dragon. I am this. Deal with it.
Exactly.
This is who I am, and this is what I went through.
In recovery, we've got what we call the HOW, and that's an acronym for H is for honesty, O is for openness, and W is for willingness. So those are the things that you have to do in order to begin your recovery process.
Wow.
And note, I said begin your recovery process, not to recover.
Wow.
So it's a whole lot.
No, I notice a lot of people can do it.
No, they can't.
And I mean, here we're not talking about just addiction. I'm talking about issues like my own issues here. Maybe okay, I didn't have the problem with, like, maybe adultery or whatever, but I know there are people who are leaders and then they've gone through what is a moral minus. And I notice many of them are not willing to come out and be accountable to those who follow them for their moral decline. They would rather keep face. And for me, I feel, yes, go on.
Yeah, no. And I was going to say that during my recovery process, I've learned that a lot of things that we deal with in order to, a lot of the steps we take in order to deal with addiction are things you can apply to many different areas of your life. So even just living your life, the how, if you live your life honestly, openly, and willingly, then we can avoid a lot of the problems that we find ourselves in.
So we actually avoid repeating.
Exactly.
Because if we don't do that,
then you
go
can't
right back, huh?
And so you don't deal with the core issue.
So maybe in closing, but can you come back?
Yeah.
Good. So we'll agree. Probably even next week, if that's okay with you.
That's perfect.
Great. So because I wanted you to take maybe a minute. We'll take a few calls because I really think some people would want to ask a few things.
Yes.
I just want you to help me understand. For those who relapse and never get out of the relapse, what do you think the issue is there?
They haven't done the how. They haven't been honest, they haven't been open, and they haven't been willing. Now, that's a very difficult thing to admit.
Because I'm talking about they just never come back. Because there are those who fall and they get up and they start again and they fall, which is normal. But there are those who just never come back.
And that's why I say it's such a difficult journey, because even me, after the rehab and after everything, I've had my slips. I've had times when I've just, I'm human.
Yeah.
And the key is to, as you say, get up and just realize that, okay, I fell into a slump here, but don't get stuck in that slump.
Correct.
And that's why I say it's things that you can apply to your everyday life.
So the ones who fall in the slump and stay there is the how issue, right?
Exactly. They haven't been willing to, firstly, even admit that, they are human. Allow yourself to make these mistakes. And, I always say your mistakes are there to guide you, not to define you.
I always say that failure is your greatest teacher.
Exactly. So don't be defined by that one time that you fell.
Yeah.
Don't be defined by whatever mistake you made or whatever slip you had at any particular time. Because you need
don't
to
overkill yourself.
Exactly. Huh? So you need to be able to forgive yourself. I know it feels crappy when you're in it, because I have been there at times when you're like, oh my gosh, so all my hard work was for nothing. So I might as well just
forget about it.
I might as well just go back to the bottle. I mean, because it doesn't make any sense. But then, in fact, I would even say, allow yourself to feel sorry for yourself, but for just a minute.
I hear you.
And then after you've gotten over the self-pity, say, okay, now what do I need to do now to get back on the horse, to saddle up and to continue riding?
I tell you. And okay, so no. Let's take a few calls, because I want next week for you to come back again. Hey, your wife is praising you here, and so is Daniel. Let's take a few calls, but you're coming back next week. I want you to come and walk through other aspects which you definitely haven't touched today. But let's take one or two calls just for the sake of just hearing from those who've been listening. No, do your thing, or the phone is already ringing off the hook. Yeah, hello. Hello, how you doing?
Great, and you? How are you doing?
Awesome. Who are we speaking to?
Very much sadly, Noah here.
Nice. Noah, what? You go ahead with your contribution question.
No question. Just a contribution. I think everything there is okay, and very good advice. And very good advice to choose with the difference between Kondamova na Kuleka. Because what that gentleman said, very, very, very correct. There are people that think they are drinking for the sake of drinking. Meanwhile, drinking is bringing problems. The time they are realizing that drinking was bringing problems, it will be too late. Because the little you have, you take it there, and you can't do something vanzeru. So thank you very much for that program. I'm sure Wajana Nzeru, they've gotten something like I have gotten. Though I'm not an addict of alcohol or what, but I've learned a lot from that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Noah.
Awesome.
Right, let's take more calls. That's good feedback from Noah there, saying that you can learn a thing or two, especially since he's not a drinker himself. So anyway. Any other caller there? No.
We're just waiting, Rev.
Alrighty. It's not my number, so then I'm like,
hey, number is easy.
Hello, you're through to Prosperity Insights. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. This is Emmanuel on the line.
Emmanuel, go ahead, please.
Okay, I've been listening and I've been blessed. Um, I just want to add on, like, to Daniel's testimony. Daniel is someone that I grew up with actually from Mongu.
Nice.
So, yeah, his dad was our pastor.
Churching.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, it is indeed a small world. And like I was witnessing how everything changed, from being a church boy. Then we went to Russia, everything changed.
Mm.
And then, but when he came back, actually, I'd lost touch with him. So the only time I saw him was when you posted advising people not to drink. I was like, what? So so it's really, really a good thing. And drug abuse and alcohol abuse is really, really killing us.
Yeah.
We see it all day blaming the government is not doing this, is not doing what, but youths are not doing anything because they are just busy with the bottle and whatnot.
Yeah.
So my advice for the youth out there is, it's high time we as youths found our purpose and work very hard towards just eradicate everything that doesn't bring positive change to our lives or help us to go towards our purpose.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Rev, and thank you so much, my brother, for sharing. It's really, really inspiring.
Indeed. Thanks so much.
Thank
And
you.
let's take that one more call to close the day. Mom has just done an
I've
empty
seen.
comment. Mom,
No, it
your
was a
comment is
like.
empty. Oh, it's a like. Hello. Oh, nobody's on the call. Okay.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening. How you doing?
I actually saw you yesterday at Pinacommon. Like, let's say hi. Like, no.
You saw me where?
At Pinacommon.
Msama mwafika mwatipo shako. Ife sindife baje ma celebrity amene wazimvera ati. Who are you from where? Tilibe vaso. Yeah, not me boss.
Uyenza ka Toyota ukaziposha 9.
Our TV my stupid manners here so.
That's where I was parked.
Please go ahead with your contribution, boss.
Okay, so about drug addiction. One of the things that I feel like I can spend money to help a lot of people with, and it's really one issue that we don't not if you're watching Nashani, but chat at job creation and whatever. It's a lie. The biggest problem we have in Zambia is not even employment. It's drug addiction. I drive around. I drive a lot because of the kind of job I do, and I see a lot of young people how they abuse alcohol, and it's really disheartening. That's the biggest problem. I tell you, I know a lot of young people who are coming from good homes, but we should minister, former ambassador in China, best schools. You understand?
Yeah.
A guy comes back with a degree, and the only thing he does is drinking. But here's the thing: drug addiction is just as any other addiction, food addiction, sexual addiction. But drug addiction is only one thing, because I feel like it's the easiest to deal with, because it requires you to have a certain amount of money to buy the drugs so you can indulge. Right? Compared to food, where it's also the same thing, but with drugs, you need to have certain amount of money for you to go and buy the drugs, and these drugs are not even cheap.
Yeah.
If I tell you how much it is even just to go to get that kabo kachamba kajamdara, you can be shocked that these guys even manage, and they look broke, but they manage to buy that drug.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a big job when it comes to DC to come in and find out who are these big people who are supplying drugs in Lusaka and other surrounding areas, and also to talk to the people who are using the drugs. There is no message like that. DC is not doing enough. All they're doing is just to find big people who are doing money laundering and all that. But I'm telling you, which isn't even killing people.
Well,
we hear you. Please proceed. I won't argue.
I'll tell you the story of Patrick. I'm sorry, I won't say my name because you won't be maybe comfortable with this.
Okay, but you need to talk in 1 minute, Kai. We need to end. Go
No,
on.
I'm ending. That's fast. With Patrick, I'll tell you to say these are kids where I check from maybe Intercity to say, right, let's go to the gym. I'll be doing boxing with you. Now I'm boxing. Now I told you so I'm boxing. And like that, I tell you to say, a lot of people can tell you that I have helped from this addiction just through boxing.
Wow.
You understand? Now imagine if DC can come up with such initiatives where there's mixed martial arts, there's this and this, all these kinds of sports where you're taking these people from the street. No, we learn our treating our pepe and all that.
In other words, give them a sense of purpose, isn't it? Give them a sense of purpose. Give them something to do.
Yes, come here, we teach you how to play soccer. So you give them something to think about more, unlike the much time they have to think about how much time they need to spend thinking.
Yeah.
I can tell you with my own resource how many people have helped just to get in the street. Just because I never tell my on the street. Now I'm going to grab my boss. I said, come here, let's go to the gym. Come here, let's go to. I can tell you to say some of them right now are trainers. They do boxing. They train people boxing.
Wow.
So you can imagine if DC, with those resources they have, they stop looking for those people who have so much money. They start helping these people who are suffering from drug addiction. How many people they can help? Anyway, this is a topic that is very dear to my heart. I wish I had more time to.
No, next week is back again. We're going to do the second part of his talk because he needs to go into the 12 steps, the recovery thing.
If you even want to go on the ground, Rev, to get actual facts, me, I can pick you from your location. I drive with you around. You see, you cry.
Hey, that sounds like a plan. You have my number?
Get the same number and text me.
Yeah, I can't because I'm talking from the other side. Number, so what you do, you go on my Facebook page. Go on my Facebook page and then go on the About section. My number is there. Please text me. Let's make a plan.
Okay, all right.
Just say, hey, I'm the guy we were talking just now.
Yeah, we can even do an interview with the people in the
I'm telling you, I'm even thinking of serious issues. So let's do it. Let's go make this happen.
Sure.
All righty, brother. Thank you so much, eh?
You're welcome.
Bye. Tolo, your closing remarks, and then you're coming back next week to take us through the whatever 12 steps or whatever it is.
Okay, so closing remarks. Firstly, I'm going to talk about support system.
By the way, the people watching, my brother's number is flashing on Facebook, so you can literally get it if you want to call and get more details. Please, your closing remark.
Exactly. Support system, very, very important. Please don't, like, when you're dealing with someone, I know it's a very painful thing when you've got a loved one who's got a problem with addiction and who's struggling with trying to come to terms with it. Please don't, number one, don't let them go. Number two, don't throw the spirituality at them and curse the demons out. Please try and find a way to deal with the issues that they're going through. Try and find a way to make them understand why they need to seek help and start this recovery process, which I'm going to be talking about when I'm here next week. So yeah, basically that's it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Miselo. Really appreciate it. And those of you watching, the number is flashing on the screen. If you're listening on radio, go on my Facebook page. You will see obviously the live, and if it's after live, you'll catch the recording and you'll see the number flashing there, so you can be able to reach. I think I'll try and copy it and paste it in the comments as well later, so that you're able to reach out to Miselo. Miselo is a counselor, and he does help individuals going through these struggles. But I think for the sake of the listeners, Miselo, just tomola your number.
Okay. You can call me, you can WhatsApp me on 0762 194020. That's 0762 194020.
There you go. So I will post it on my page as well. But let me end with this one statement based on our last caller. I'll use that as my closing rant. I like what the last caller has spoken about. It's very sad. Do you realize that for those of you listening right now, we hardly have any recreational centers? No. Do you realize we have no recreational centers?
Nothing.
Do you remember we used to have parks in this city? All the parks
all been
are
taken.
gone. They are like now something. But when you go to developed countries or just countries that really think, there's a park or two. There are always parks. Remember Kitwe, we had Central, what was it called? Park, not that park where now there's the mall. Yeah, but you know the park I'm not. Freedom Park.
Yeah, Freedom Park, yes.
Yeah, so we had parks. But these things have gone. So I don't know where they expect that the youth are going to go and have recreation. Because if I remember in my day, by Bwinjimfumu Road and Church Road, there was a park. Just here where there's now the Ministry of Ministry of Labor. No, not Labor. Ministry of Local Government. That used to be a park. You know that, right? That used to be a park. And we had parks all over Lusaka. I think the only park left, I think, is Sherus Nakubale Park. I don't even know if that park is still a park. And then if it's a park, you find that people are being charged to get to the park. So how in God's name is anybody going to have any recreation? You know? And back in the day, the walkway on Cairo Road used to have benches. People could sit there and kind of like just relax because there was the trees and the flowers. You know, those days, Lusaka in the 70s. You guys, you will not believe what Lusaka looked like in the 70s. Today, by comparison, sorry to say this, today Lusaka is a toilet. By comparison to Lusaka in the 70s. It was so nice. Lusaka was beautiful. All those Tuma islands you see in Lusaka, Cairo Road, they had flowers, real flowers growing with waters and grass. It was very beautiful. I remember that because I was like, 5 or 6 and would be walked on Cairo Road going to 20th century. So this whole thing was very beautiful. Lusaka was really beautiful. There were parks. Today, there are no parks. So I don't know where they expect these guys to hang out. What really hurts my heart, let me close with this. There are 2 things thriving right now in the compounds. One are the bars. There are bars everywhere. If it's not a bar, it's a bottle store. If it's not a bottle store, it's literally just a shop where they're selling alcohol. And they sell it. And apparently they're licensed to do this. So people just hang around there. So this is the first thing. It's all over the compounds. And then next to that are the betting houses. That's why I don't have any kind words for the betting houses, because they're the ones that are thriving. So you imagine you've got people that are addicted to alcohol, and then you are also getting them addicted to betting. So so you have got 2 really bad vices destroying people more than building them. And these are thriving all over. Why? Because government makes a lot of money out of alcohol because of the super high taxes, and then they make a killing out of betting because of the taxes as well. So these things are not going anywhere, and that's the recreation everywhere. I mean, I get amazed. I go into the compounds. I go to Chilenje there. There's a number of betting places. No, have you ever seen how full those places are? Like this. Bus drivers, conductors, guys just hang around there. They are all in there placing their bets. Like when they just open, they're in there. And some of them hang out the whole day. So you're like, what are they doing? Anyway, somebody told me they make money. I don't know how they make the money, but the places are full. So you can imagine. And then now, I don't know if the bonanza things are still there. So imagine you're in a bar and then you have that bonanza thing. So we really need to do something. It's just that, again, I watched a powerful documentary and it explained that government makes a very, very serious amount of money out of this. That's why betting can't be stopped. Even in Europe, it can't be stopped. They are now sponsoring football clubs. So you can imagine what that means. And they pay top dollar for those football clubs to wear their T-shirts. So you see their names on, football clubs, top football clubs. How do you fight that? But you know that money is coming from destroyed lives. Just like with the alcohol people, now I notice that they're even saying bet responsibly. Like that's the joke of the century, right? Bet responsibly? Like really? When you are giving them offers every day, free offers on your apps, so that they can get sucked in. That's like the drinking as well. Come get free samples. Man. Anyway, at least we've said our saying, huh? So my brother's back next week, and he's going to be taking us at a whole other level now as he walks us through the steps and just guides us on how exactly people come out of all this. Thanks for coming, bro.
Thank you so much for having me.
Indeed.